What up, y'all? It's your boy Apendule Pagate, and I'm here again with a new video. It's another day and another dawn. So today, man, first of all, let me explain something about Monday, right? So I was supposed to shoot something on the Saturday for the Monday video, but a certain somebody was a bit too nervous, so we had to cancel that, and then I got busy throughout the day. So that's also something that's gonna go onto the topic, what led me to make this topic today. I'm sure some of you guys know that have followed some of our stuff on the AMP Media page. Be sure to check out the AMP Media channel as well, because that's where we post the videos. That's where we post all the creative content, you know. Which leads me to this topic that I want to speak about, which is chasing your dreams. I was thinking of how I'm going to title this thing, whether to call it chasing your dreams or, you know, setting goals and whatever. Because I think there's this whole stigma of what dreams are. We see dreams must be so flashy and they look a certain way. But I think it's a subjective thing. Whatever your dream is as an individual, just something you always wanted to achieve. But obviously it's not easy to achieve, which is why it's a dream, because it is, you know, so high up that you need to fight your way there. You know, it doesn't get handed to you. It's not easy. So that's the dream, man, that we're talking about. It's like chasing that dream. You know, what are the costs? What are the results? All of that stuff. So for me, what led me to make this topic was this weekend, as I said, we were shooting a video of mine. So I made the track like quite a while back, and I wanted to shoot a video for it. I've been wanting to shoot a video for it, but I've been having many different ideas about how I'm gonna execute it and all of that. I think that's like the time for me where I really just sit out and think about it. That's why these videos usually come out way later than when I recorded the song. I mean, most of the songs you guys will see on the channel, they were probably like, some of them 2 years, 1 year before the video was shot, that song was recorded. It's also a budget thing, you know. You also deal with budgets. You need capital to make stuff happen, you know, to book out stuff or to book out a place or to do whatever. And we haven't really gotten to that point because some visions that I have don't match to the budget that I have. So that's why some songs just stay where they are. So this weekend, man, we were climbing mountains, bro. Like, I'm still tired today. I think you can feel that I don't have much energy. I don't have much energy right now. Like, my legs hurt. I feel like I did some hectic ass leg day yesterday. Because on the Saturday, I went to scout the location. So I went up the mountain, and then it was like a hiking trail. Went all the way up, you know, then came back down. And then the next day is when we actually did the shoot. And we like, now this time we took equipment and stuff like that. And we walked up, man. We did the long walk. Got all the way up finally. I was sweating like crazy. So now I have to also like dry myself and make sure I look fine for the video, because I mean, I don't want to be out there sweating and shining and stuff like that. So I tried to, like, you know, wipe myself, calm myself down. And we had to start soon because the person who was shooting me, Shade, KK, arrived late with his posse. So I was out just stressing, like, you know, getting anxious now because I can see the time's going. And the thing is, man, like, when I'm set out to do that thing, something, it needs to happen that day, because there's a lot of things that always happen in between, and that always causes us to be stifled. So I always want to make sure when I'm shooting, I'm going to shoot that day, because next, I might not get another chance for a while, because now, imagine, even next weekend, I'm going to Eastern Cape for my grandmother's funeral. And then who knows what happens the week after that. So I literally had this day, man, and everyone was there. So I was like, yo, let's go. So they got there like 2:30 or so. and we had to walk. We ended up getting to the location at like 4:30. So we had to shoot quick before it got dark. And at least like the idea that I had is it's simplistic. It's simplistic. So, there's not too much into it and stuff. But anyway, man, yeah, you go through some stuff on the way, chasing your dreams. You also stopped by your everyday, because now you also have to work, you also have to stay surviving. And I think that's the dilemma we have a lot as people who are chasing our dreams, is that we always have to settle for something in the meantime while we try to aim for where we want to go. And also in that meantime, there's always the possibility of being trapped there for forever, or the possibility of getting too comfortable. And that's something that can capture anybody, because any human being wants how can I put it? They want a comfortable life, they want to feel secure. So when you now get a place that's secure, sometimes along the way, man, you get to deteriorate in terms of your hustle mentality, your vision, your dream chase. It kind of dies down a little bit, and because you're so distracted by all these things that's going on in that space, and then you get time out and you just want to rest. You're tired and all of that. But I must say, man, if you're gonna chase a dream, be ready for sacrifices. Like, sacrifices gonna have to be made. Like, that's a definite. Because we always blame situations and environments. We're always like, oh, well, I didn't grow up here, or I didn't get this, or I didn't get that. People who chase dreams don't see where they are, they just see where they're going. And whatever is next to them, whatever's around, they're going to use that to get to where they need to get to. Because it's all steps. Some may start a few steps back, but if they don't start walking, they're going to stay back there. So chasing your dream is going to mean a lot of sacrifices. It's going to mean a lot of hard work, determination, you know, um, and it's going to mean it's going to need a lot of motivation, self-motivation. That is something that's so difficult, man, because doing things alone also is so strenuous, because we're in a position now where you feel like you have the talent, you have the vision, you have the skill, but you don't have the capital. And that's what's going to make it go an extra mile, because you have to now start buying equipment, for this thing. You need to start investing in it. And also you need to start investing in the people you're working with. And you need to kind of build that team. And the hardest thing for us upcoming people is that we are underestimated by our peers in terms of the vision we have, because everybody has their own. So the only way something will succeed really is when we all come together and we actually go ahead and do this thing. Honestly, man, it is strenuous, like, because the only way, if I feel like the only way you can really get proper people and to be for them to be serious, and to do the work with you, is if you can pay them. I mean, truth be told, everybody just want to get that paper at the end of the day. Nobody wants to work for free. It's very strenuous. I mean, throughout the years, I've been working for free for a long time. I've been doing a lot of favors, and it's good, man. Like, I like doing it, but it's also like it's tiring, because the stuff we do is a lot of work itself. It's something that needs pay. It's something people pay for. So when you do it for free and you feel like you're putting all this work and effort and creativity into something and you're not getting anything out of it, for me, it's like it demotivates. And I think that's what happens to a lot of people out there when they feel like they're working with you for free. It's like they demotivated. So that's why there's a lot of solo soldiers and individuals, because we don't have the capacity to be able to, sort those people out. But we also need those people to help us do this. So that's why I always found it important for me to try and learn as many skills as possible. Like, from the time I was at school, I wanted to learn everything. If it was possible, I'd learn everything. But I had to choose, multiple things that I felt were that had more opportunity to learn more, you know. So when I was in school, I took like an extra subject as well. And you know, as long as I got most of the basics of those things, you know, like post production and shooting, you know, camera work and sound, and then also writing and stuff, creating the content, you know, from paper. So just I wanted to just learn that whole process from pre-production, production, and post-production. So I had those three as my subjects, and that was like, okay, cool, this is a good start. And then beyond other things that I've been trying to learn. Right now, I'm actually like learning how to mix and master, so that I can be able to mix and master my own tracks. I got my own studio equipment. I actually want to like move out of this place. We'll move out of this place soon, so I can get like a space where I can create. I can like you know have everything there, equipment wise, and have an office set up, you know, studio set up and everything, and start working again. You know, because here it's like it's very hard to do anything because also the neighbors, you know, and it's kind of like crowded and it's small, doesn't have much space. So I want to like put in that investment of actually getting a proper spot that's big enough that has two bedrooms. With a one bedroom, you can have all of that stuff, you know. So dreams, man, it's all about investing in them. The more you invest, the more you put into it, the more you're gonna get out of it. And I don't want to speak to you guys as if I'm like somebody who's now made it to something because I haven't at all. But I feel like I'm somewhere, you know, and I think it's something we can talk about as people, as young people, because it's something in our lives that is also affecting us. That's also a part of our everyday. All of us are hustling right now. Everybody's on the hustle game because we have to, you know, and the world is changing. So things are not necessarily the same as they used to be in the past. I mean, in the past, it was as straightforward as studying for something, getting your degree, getting a job, and get your honors, get your job, get a higher pay, whatever, whatever. But these days, you know, that education is not enough. I mean, there's a lot of unemployed youth, as we know it, in South Africa, and most of it has to do with the ongrowing population and the ongrowing masses of people who are getting educated meets entrepreneurs, jobs. The only way jobs can be created is if there's more entrepreneurs. And there's not a lot of entrepreneurs that are being molded. There's more workers being molded. And also, you know, with the pressures of society, family, life, all of that, you get people who they respect you based on your degrees. They respect you based on your graduations. So there's that whole pressure even from family, like, you guys have to learn, you have to, you know, study and study and study. It's not a bad thing to study, but you need to know as a person why you're doing it, and you need to do it for a reason. You need to do it for a purpose. Don't just do it because someone else tells you to do it. Don't just do it because, you know, it's something that will get you a good paying job, because as we see, that is not happening. Like, there's more to it, there's more to the story. There's a lot of guys who have good master's degree, they have, you know, some of them have PhDs maybe, I don't know, but they're unemployed and you wonder how. And you find, because I don't know how, is this how life works or what, but it seems like most of the people who used to be troublemakers in school and who didn't really follow rules are the most successful. And I never understood it until I got it at some stage in my life. It's all about innovation. It's all about standing out. You know, it's all about bringing something new to the table, because that's what the world needs. And what the world is like, it gets something new, and then if it's good enough to put in school, we'll put in school so that people can learn, and so that the people, the idea has more followers and has more workers to make it work even more. And once that place fills up, man, it's like, yo, you need to find a new idea. You know, you need to find a new innovative way. So I feel like that's what entrepreneurs do. Like from when they get out of school, they outcasts. You know, they failed or whatever, and they can't get into varsity, and probably getting pressures from their family, and they are like a letdown. They feel like they've let everyone down, so they kind of forced to hustle, and they forced to have a certain type of mentality and how they approach things, how they approach the world. So what they do, they create, they make something new. They try to find new ways to make that money, you know. And with every step that they take in their hustle, they get better and bigger entrepreneurs. They become better and better. And they the ones that end up getting these big corporations, these big companies, you know. That's just the research that I did, man. Like seeing these billionaires, I'm just like, these people never finished school. Like some of them were dropouts, and you're like, how did that happen? You know. So I think it's all about where you at personally, what your gauge of success is. I mean, if you wanna go to school and do best there, cool, man. That's also part of it, you know. But not everyone is gonna be like you, and not everyone is expecting you to be like the entrepreneur. Because at the end of the day, we're also not all entrepreneurs, you know, and we're not all workers. Some people are just cut out for certain things. It may be based on their character, their personality, or whatever else comes with them. It all depends on the person. So you need to kind of also know thyself and know who you are, know where you come from, know what you want. You can't just want stuff. You need to be specific. I mean, there's people here who say, "Ah, man, I just want to drive a nice car and I want to live by a beach, you know, and I live by the coast." I'm like, okay, cool, partner, but like, how you going to do that? You know, like, how you going to get to that point? And that's where the question is like, dude, I don't know what I want to do yet with my life, but I know I want to get there. So for you to get there, you can keep that in mind, but understand that to get there, you need to put your focus into something that's going to generate you to get there. So the dream needs to be practical. It needs to be like, yo, I want to be a successful musician so that I can live this life. Cool. Now we know what you want to do. Now you need to center yourself and put your focus into that thing, because it's all about putting in the time. You need to get better as an artist. You need to be able to create good music, you know, and you need to build a team. You need to get equipment. You need to, you know, get deals. You need to get corporations on your side. Like there's a whole lot to the business. So there's also that whole process of just learning the practical sides of things with your dream. You know, so even when someone says, I want to be a doctor one day, then, you know, that one, you need to make sure that you're doing good in school. You need to make sure that, you know, high school even, you know, you're taking the right subjects and you're doing good in those subjects so that you can be accepted in a varsity. Because with a practice like that needs study. So there's different things that just need study, like you really need to study for them. That's why I'm saying, like, know what you want, because that's why I'm not bashing education. Education is important if you know what you want. You can get educated in anything in different ways, but there's certain things that need that merit. Like if you're gonna be a doctor, you really need to go to school and need to go to varsity and do this, you know. But if you wanna be an entrepreneur, then it'll be good to go to a business school and learn the stuff. But it's not necessarily needed for you to become one. It's not the certificate is not needed for you to get a business because no one's hiring you. You hiring yourself. So it's all about just about you making yourself better as an entrepreneur, as a person, so that you're able to tackle this thing of yours that you want to be. So self-growth, I mean, you can even do this outside of school. If you want to grow yourself as a person, there's many things now. Like I said in one of these videos I made, that we are blessed to be in the age that we're in that has so much information, and that we have the internet, and that we have all of the stuff like at our fingertips. You can always study. I mean, I'm learning things every day. Like there's lectures and stuff you can actually watch, and it's the same as being in a classroom. So, do you really need to go inside a classroom if you can get it off your laptop? You know, if you're not gonna need the paper. That's my point. So that's just other things to think about because that can also save you costs. I mean, universities are expensive. I don't know if there's a because we're fighting free education. I don't know what's going on, but I think everyone has the right to education, but we need to not only rely on that, guys. We have to find ways to learn the information, and the fact that the information is presented to us, we ought not to waste the opportunity, because what most of us do is things are given to us, but obviously that's gonna come with a whole mass of other stuff, and then we focus our energy on all the other stuff, all the brain numbing stuff, that we're not putting as much attention to the stuff that actually grow our mind, to the stuff that actually give us more knowledge, that empower us, because there is that too. So it's with the internet, it's all about where you go, where you find things, where you take where you take your click button to. What do you click on a daily? What do you focus your attention span on? I think that is like the self-discipline part, not being in school and stuff. You need to have self-motivation. But that's also part of being an entrepreneur, because you need to have the self-motivation anyway. So don't blame it on that. Like, if I was in school, I'd have focused more. No, but you want to be an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur needs self-discipline. So even with your studies, you need to self-discipline yourself. It's all part of the business. You are a business, as a brand, as a person who's starting the business. You are the business. You are the first initiator of the business, because the idea is with you first, right? And you want to start this thing, and you want to do this thing, and then everyone will follow after you. So you are literally a sole soldier on this earth with this idea, and only you can execute it. And you need to make sure that you fed and invest in yourself, so that you can start growing this thing, and then other people will start seeing it working, and they'll be like, oh, okay, they can join the board, and then you grow your team, and then once your team is big, then you guys can be a success. Because honestly, the only way something really becomes a success is if there's a team behind it. Nothing works without people. Like, you need a whole team. I mean, you can be great and talented on your own, and that's wonderful, but if you want to take it to the next level, you need people who are really talented in other departments, because your field is way bigger than you. It needs way more than you. If you wanna have a dope movie, like, you can't be the only one shooting it. You need to either choose to direct it, or direct and write it, and have someone hold the light, have somebody hold the camera, have somebody, put the makeup on, get the dresses and the outfits, and get somebody who's gonna make sure that the whole production is in order, who's managing all aspects of things, have somebody who's gonna be able to hire staff, hire cars, so if you're gonna be thinking and doing all of these things alone, can you imagine how much strain that is on you, and how the video or the music, sorry, and how the movie won't have as much quality if you're gonna be doing it alone. There's no collaboration. You know, it's not that you're not good at it. It's just it's too much for you to bear. With that said, I just want to say, man, chase your dreams, guys. Find what it is that you want to do, and have something to look forward to, man. Because we live in the whole time where we are. We're just going day by day. But I think what gives you hope and gives you motivation is when you have a certain vision for what you want to do. And I know for me, man, like I'm working on this vision that I've been having since I was 13 years old. So it's like I'm learning new things as I go, and I'm learning that you need to be determined and persistent. I think why success is so hard to attain is that you just need to be tested, man. You need to really show that you really want this, because once you get it, you need to be able to maintain it. And to maintain it needs a bit of experience, it needs some level of struggle before, so that you never want to lose it and you never take it for granted. So it's always these factors, man, that may play in you being successful. You hear all of these success stories of all the people who struggled and stuff and to get to where they are. And that thing made them appreciate their success. And I think that's the only way you can really appreciate success, man, is if you struggle. I mean, it's like the way of life. The only way you can appreciate good is if you experienced bad, so that you can see that, oh, okay, this is good and I want to be with good. Otherwise, if that was just good, you wouldn't even be able to tell the difference, and probably your life would be boring. So now when what the struggle is like, when you get it good, you're like, damn, this is really good, like life is great. I'm so glad that I moved past that stage. I've learned a lot from it, because you do also learn a lot from the struggle. You encounter a lot of things. Like the uprise is an experience, man. It's such an experience. And I think if you just take it in, just take it in, don't cry too much about it, even though those days do come. There's days that come, man, where you're like, damn, I'm stuck, like I just want to give up, or I'm tired, or, what's more to this life? Like, you just, you're just exhausted, man. You're like, I'm exhausting myself with something I don't want to do, when I should want to do that, but I can't do that right now. I'm still working towards that. But also working towards that is such a mission, with all of these balancing everything. You have to just crack through that, man, and keep it moving and keep going, because it isn't easy. I mean, there's a whole lot of balancing that you need to do, because you also need to take care of yourself. As a brand, you need to like look after yourself, work out, you need to eat right, you need to work on your craft. At the same time, trying to make money to be able to invest into your dream. So while you're making that money is also taking a lot of your time. Most of your time is there, and you only have a little bit of time to work on your dream. And even with that little time, there's sometimes other things that are happening that you don't have time to do it, to work on your dream. Something just pops up, like a funeral or whatever. And sometimes you need to go see family, because all of these things are important. It's like, that's why I'm like, there's a lot of sacrifices that have to be made, and you probably won't have weekends. If you do, you'll be lucky, you'll have that one and you can rest it out a bit. But I think working on your dream should also be a weekend for you. It should be fun. If it doesn't feel fun, you need to reevaluate if you really want to rise to there. Because then, if it's not fun, it's only gonna get harder. Because the higher you go, man, there's more responsibilities, there's more maintenance, there's more stuff that's going on, and you need to keep up with. If you have been having fun doing it, you will have fun doing it there. Even with the stresses that will come with it, you'll enjoy it. So yeah, man, I just wanted to speak on that, because, yo, I'm tired, bro. Like, I feel tired, and I'm like, yo, I need to do this regardless. I want to be able to share this thing, because a lot of us go through it, especially the hustlers and people who are out there hustling. As hustlers, it's not an easy road, we know that. But damn well, it's going to be worth it, man. I can promise that. Like, I tell people around me all the time, I keep speaking these things into existence. Like, yo, when I get there, I don't say if, when, this all will be worth it. When I get there, man, this and this and this that's going on will be all worth it. My day to day, all the struggles I have, when I'm in an emotional state, I sometimes just think about that. Like, you know what? This is part of the journey. And even if I feel this way, it's part of the journey. And I need to let it out, let it happen, and move forward. Wake up the next day, embrace it, move forward. Because giving up is something that we shouldn't even consider. If we've set out to do this, and we've been setting out to do this, and you've already invested so much into this, might as well keep going, man. I mean, I don't know if you've seen that picture where there was this person digging, and he got tired of digging and he walked out, and the person next to him dug, and he found the diamond, the small diamond. and he was happy. And that guy was digging for longer, way longer than that guy, and he got tired. He's like, man, it's probably not in this hole. And he left and he went to another hole. And literally there was a few inches left until he was gonna find like a big ass diamond. So he was gonna have an even bigger diamond than that guy had. But he gave up because he felt like it was taking too long. So don't ever think that because somebody else got it faster than you and yours is taking too long, that maybe it's not worth it and maybe the person's just better than you and you'll never be better than them. Don't feel that way. You might have it bigger. You know, your success story is going to be worth it and it's going to inspire a lot of people. It's going to motivate a lot of people. It's going to inspire a lot of kids. It's going to show people that it's possible. Because that's what these success stories do to us. It makes us see that it's possible. I had to see it was possible before I actually tried to make it possible. So the only reason I'm not giving up and the only reason that I'm going to keep going is because I've seen it possible. And I'm just like, wow, what makes me different from them? Yeah, so hang in there, guys. Hang in there, man. We're going to hang in there. We go hang in there, gang. Yeah, but thanks, man. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Tune in tomorrow. Peace and love.
Stick up, my dick in my leg. It was side, boogie, boogie.